Now we're in the wonderful collector Earl's garden, and this is an absolutely beautiful garden. As you can see, we've got these wonderful pergolas, and the hornbeam, or Carpinus betulus, has grown right over, and we tie these in, and you've got these beautiful windows looking through at Oberon's palace. And as we wander through here, we're now wandering down into our tropical borders, where we have some amazing plants. As you can see, we've got beautiful Persicaria red dragon, Eryngium pandanifolium. We've got the lilies and the Allium Christophii, and it's just a tropical paradise. We've even got the red banana with the rheums and the canna lilies just beginning to come up. And what's quite amazing as well, you'll see all the long grass. This is where we had the tulip labyrinth, the amazing tulip labyrinth. We've just let all the tulips and the narcissus die down, and this will be cut next week. And then it'll just become a grass labyrinth until the spring next year, where it'll all come back again. But as we wander through here, you can just see the tropical paradise we have here with these wonderful serpentine beds. And as we wander through, you can see these incredible echiums towering up, and then they just go so well with the spires of the cathedral. And we've got incredible lupins and Butea capitata, and then Salvia granitica. And this is a really funny plant, I have to tell you about this. But this is Phlomis Traciliana, and if you have a look at these little banana-shaped flower heads, one day a gentleman asked, "Oh, what are those flowers?" And he had a five-year-old with him, and the 5-year-old said, "Don't be so silly, Daddy, those are baby bananas." So I thought that was very funny. And as we wander through, you can see the Butea capitatas and the Trachycarpus fortunii in the background, these tall palms. And then once you come around this little corner here, you actually have the Eremuris lilies, these white lilies coming through. I mean, this is the sort of, should be the peak of any garden. Everything's just bursting through. You can see the Martican lilies. There's some beautiful red Martican lilies in the background. We're just wandering through now into a different part of the garden. It's always quite exciting coming through to different parts of the garden. Different borders, different areas. And as we come through here, we've got beautiful peonies. We've got the peony bowl of beauty. I mean, look at these fantastic peonies flowering in amongst the stumps. We just wander around. We've got the foxgloves. The ferns have all come out. The Martican lilies. A wide range of different alliums. Red poppies. I think Martican lilies are one of my favourite. I mean, look at that. They're just perfect. As we come around here, as you can see, this Stumpery is very quirky and unusual. We have things like the Martican lilies, alliums, beautiful lupins towering up, different types of alliums and ferns everywhere. And as we wander around, you'll see we've got the more classic red poppies just flowering now, just coming out, and then crazy alliums. I mean, this is one which was called Art because it has such a modern art take on an allium. And then we've got the beautiful salvias, and then there's another papaver, which is Patty's plum. And then in different areas, you've just got all these different architectural things. We've got the curry plant, then we've got different herbs, thymes, and the lovely curry plant. So it's a wonderful time to look around and see the different plants in a stumpery. Don't always have to be ferns. And there's a big large pigeon probably been eating the cabbages from the veg garden. And then you have the delphiniums. I think we'll just wander back to have a look at the different borders. So we're just wandering back through the stumpery. Oh, look at this wonderful yew stump. It's lovely to see all the foxgloves. We'll let those go to seed. Now we're coming into some other borders. We call these the cathedral borders or the smoky borders because we have all the Catinus. You can see the smoke bush just as we wander through, and then of course we've got all the geraniums cascading over the paths. And this is always one of my favorites at this time of year, where we have these classic, beautiful English herbaceous borders. And as you can see, the Nepeta, the Walker's Low, cascading over the paths. We also have Alchemilla mollis, perennial geraniums, and also stachys, the lamb's ears, and then lupins, delphiniums, roses. It's fantastic at this time of the year. This is a lovely little flower which has the most beautiful scent. It's called heliotrope. We've just planted these up, but it smells of cherry pie. And this is lavender dentata, which is probably the strongest smelling lavender you'll ever find in the world. Absolutely lovely. But you can even see these perennial geraniums cascading over the paths, and that's Johnson's blue with the Alchemilla mollis. It's lovely. And then we've got the delphiniums, Rosa annick in the background, Eremuris lilies, and some of the later alliums still flowering, but the lupins are beautiful. And again, it's repeating similar plantings to balance either side. But then again, we've got Rosa bonica, which is another beautiful rose. And what we've done is planted Cosmos and Salvia eulinogosa and Salvia indigo spires. So in the gaps, they'll fill out and look amazing in about 3 weeks' time. But it's still looking lovely at this time of year. We've still even got a Dutch iris out, but those lupins look stunning. And then we've got Macleia, the plume poppy, towering up above the rest of the plants. Now we're wandering into a wonderful organic kitchen garden. I mean, I think the last time we were here, we had some carrots which had just been sown and only just coming out. But look at the garlic between the carrots. If you grow your carrots and garlic together, or your carrots and onion together, the carrot fly don't like the smell of the onion, and the onion fly don't like the smells of the carrots. So it works really well organically. All the beautiful herbs. We've got the lavender, the chives, the thyme surrounding the pond, and this beautiful glasshouse in the background, which is a messenger glasshouse, and then all the apples beginning to form. These are Peasgood nonsuch, just wonderful cooking apple, whilst the archways are all eating apples, mostly from Sussex. So there's an abundance of crops here. And as we wander through, you can see some lovely artichokes, which are great for eating, but also they make a wonderful flower, one of the best flowers. Then there's the borage plant. You can see that beautiful blue with the bumblebees buzzing around. But actually you can pick that flower and you can eat it, or you can put it in salads. But one of the best uses for it is if you put it in to an ice cube. and you pop it in, freeze the ice cube, and it's one of the best, most poshest ice cubes you'll ever have. You can see the artichokes. We've got a wide range. So here we have fruit, flowers and veg all together. And it's a good way of doing things organically, because the flowers encourage the beneficial insects to help reduce the population of insects you don't want, or things like aphids. And again, we've got this lovely sweet peas just beginning to flower. And this is known as our fledge garden. So in here we have a wide range from broad beans to Swiss chard to alliums to different flowers. And now we've just planted up our dahlia collection here. And these will be in full flower in about 4 or 5 weeks. And then we take these up to the castle for flower ranging. And then we're just walking into an area where we have Clematis jackmanii superb, which is just coming into flower. And we also have some wonderful peonies and roses. So you can see this beautiful white peony over here. And as we walk around, you can also see the different roses. We've got Crown Prince Margarita. We've also got Grace, which is slightly more peachy in colour. Absolutely stunning. We can't walk that way, it's full of roses. So we better go along this way. As we go along here, we've got a lovely collection of roses, and they then include Graham Thomas, who is a famous nurseryman, Jeff Hamilton, Alan Titchmarsh, Gertrude Jekyll. So most of them are named after roses. We thought that would be quite appropriate. But over here we also have the beautiful alliums. So we've got Mont Blanc, we've got Mount Everest, and we've got Christophii. And then through here, this is one of my favorites, and it looks like we've got this beautiful Christophii, which is floating through the lavender, which is just coming into flower. And then you have this lovely cathedral in the background. And you can see the delphiniums flowering with the Crown Prince Margarita. But this is always a stunning sight. You can just see that lavender and that amazing flower head. And what's quite nice about this is what we've done over the years. You can actually see the hedges all shaped in spires in the background there, and the reason behind that is looking at the cathedral, it's reflecting the spires of the cathedral. As we wander through, as you can see now, our humpback whales, or archways, hazel archways, are now beginning to get covered, and we've got these lovely sweet peas just coming through, and delphiniums, Alchemilla, we've got Iaxia, and then some lovely roses in the background. So roses everywhere at the moment. The only thing we dread is we've got a lot of deadheading, and normally we have a wonderful team of volunteers who come and assist us with that, but at the moment this year we might have a hard task on our hand. But you can see the change in the garden. It changes so rapidly. This is an artichoke, or called a cardoon type of artichoke, and literally a month ago that was down here, and look at the size, and they have most beautiful flowers. So those aren't for eating, they're more for the flowers. And then we have later flowering alliums, and some more alliums coming on as time goes by. I think the latest flowering allium we have is Summer Drummer, and that will flower in July. And I'm just going to show you, we've got this area here. This is Veronica Ulster Blue, which we talked about earlier on in the year. And then we've got beautiful salvias throughout here, and a bit of a salvia collection going on. And also it's a nice spring garden as well as summer. And then we've got the wisteria now growing rapidly, and that will cover the whole of this part of the wall, which would be wonderful. And then we've got some other types of allium throughout. But it is a beautiful part of the garden. And it gets so much sun here that it's very, very early. But we've just planted up our different types of not allium, salvias throughout. So we've got black and blue, indigo spires, nacht. We've even got one called hot lips. And then we also have things like Martican lilies flowering at the moment throughout here. And then all the foxgloves just going to seed. And look at that, look at the bumblebees on that. Isn't it amazing? And we've just ordering, we're actually going to keep bees here, which is wonderful. So one of my gardeners is going to be trained up, and it was going to be me, but I think I might get too engrossed in it. And yes, we're going to have beehives here, which is wonderful.